Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we'll be factoring some expressions. Firstly, what is factoring? If you think about the word factor, you might have seen it before, like factors. If you have like 3 times 4 equals 12, then these are the factors. Okay, and it's very similar with factoring an equation or an expression. You'll be writing it as a product. So factorizing means basically write as a product, as a single product. So here we don't have a product, we have a sum. So we can write this as a product by doing the reverse of the distributive property, kind of. So if you look at this 2x and 2, these are our terms 2x and 2. What you can do is you can look for the HCF or the GCF, the highest common factor or the greatest common factor, and then we're going to factorize that out. So the HCF of 2x and 2, well, that's just going to be 2. Alright, we can divide both these terms by 2, so that's the highest common factor. So what you're going to get is 2 times something in brackets here. So you're going to have 2 times what binomial will give you 2x plus 2. So to get the 2x, 2 times x will give you 2x. And to get the 2 over here, 2 times 1 will give you 2. Okay, so these two expressions are equal. We can check that. Okay, by doing 2 times x plus 1, use the distributive property, and we have 2x plus 2. So we do get the same thing. These two expressions are equal, and what we have here is a product, so it is factorized. Remember, factorizing means write as a product, so this is our answer. In the second one, if we look at the two terms, we have 7x squared and negative 14. So we can divide both these numbers by 7, so the HCF equals 7. So we're going to have 7 outside of in brackets here. So 7 times what will give you 7x squared? 7 times x squared will give you 7x squared. 7 times what will give you minus 14? 7 times negative 2 will give you negative 14. If you check this, you can multiply this out by distributive property, and you will get this original expression. So this is the correct answer. Okay? So we factorized, we've written 7x squared minus 14 as a product. Here's the product. Next one. Here we have 3 terms. So let's look for a highest common factor of all 3 terms. Notice we have a 3, 6, and a 9. So obviously 3 is the highest common factor. But the leading coefficient, the coefficient at the beginning, is negative 3. So we're going to factor out a negative 3. The HCF is going to be negative 3. So we're going to factor out negative 3. And negative 3 times what gives you x squared? Negative 3 times x squared. And next term, negative 3 times what gives you negative 6? So it's going to be 2x, because negative 3 times 2x gives you negative 6x. Lastly, negative 3 times what will give you negative 9? Negative 3 times positive 3 will give you negative 9. Okay, so that's your factorized answer. Okay, it's a product of negative 3 and this polynomial. Okay, so that's all 3 of these examples have integer highest common factors. We're going to look at a couple others now. Like in this one right here, we're going to be factorizing. We have 3 and 7. There's no common factor between 3 and 7. So we have to look at the variables, x squared and x. We can divide both of these by x. So that means the HCF here is going to be x. So we're going to factor out the x. Now x times what is going to give me 3x squared? X times 3x will give me 3x squared. X times what will give me 7x? X times 7 will give me 7x. So we can check that. X times 3x plus 7. Okay, we use distributive property. We'll get 3x squared plus 7x, and that's exactly what we started with. So that's the correct factorized form right here. Next one. We've got 2 and a 4, so we can factor out a 2. And we have x squared and x, so we can factor out an x. So we're going to be factoring out a 2x. 2x times what gives me 2x squared? 2x times x gives you 2x squared. 2x times what will give you negative 4x? 2x times 2 will give you negative 4x. So that's your factorized answer. And last one, we have 3 terms here. The HCF is going to be negative because our first term is negative. We've got 4, 8, and 12, so the HCF, the biggest number you can divide 3 of those by is 2. And we have x cubed, x squared, and x, so we can divide them all by x. And our HCF is going to be negative 2x. So we got negative 2x. I'm going to write it down here. Negative 2x outside of. Now negative 2 times what gives me 4? That's going to be 2. X times what gives me x cubed? X squared. So that multiplied together gives you the first term here. Negative 2 times what gives you negative 8? That's going to be a negative or a positive 4. That will give you negative 8. X times what gives me x squared? X times x gives me x squared. Negative 2 times what gives me negative 10? That's going to be a plus 5. And we have negative 2x times 5 does give you negative 10x, so that's it. And that's our final factorized form right there. It's as easy as that.